Hi, hey, hello. Welcome to a Market Down production. And real quick, before we get started, before you even introduce everyone, we just once again would like to say rest in peace to Bray Wyatt. You are very deeply, deeply missed. And obviously, we are making these predictions after the tragic news, which makes talking about wrestling in a jovial and, kayfabe way a lot harder. But just wanted to get that out up top. Once again, we miss you, Bray Wyatt. Thank you for everything. Um, and I guess now I'll segue back in. You know what? I'll just start from the top. Hi, hey, hello. Welcome to Market Down Production. My name is John Lennon. I am joined by Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, and we are here to predict AEW All In 2023, the squeakquel to All In 2018. We're all excited, coming live from Wembley, the largest crowd in whatever qualifiers that we have to put on it, but just a massive, massive show. We're so excited for it. We're chuffed, we're cheesed, we're chipper. Real quick before we get into it, can you guys give me your best British accents? Ringo, you want to go first?
Hello, Governor. How are you? You want
Hello,
a
mate. Are you Ben's? Are you Ben's? It's just right there.
Are you horny?
Really, really
Do
Ben's.
I make you Randy?
Oh, wait, Austin Powers is my bit.
Also, I feel like it's a different British accent, and I feel like the accent you're doing is not the Austin Powers British accent. But yeah.
Certainly not.
Paul, can we get your British accent real quick?
I mean, you could try, but it's just going to usually probably fall into Australian. But
it didn't even fall into it. It started it.
Exactly, mate. I cannot do fucking Australian, or excuse me, British. I'm from the penal colonies. I'm sorry.
Are we doing accents?
Apparently,
Tis but a flesh wound. Okay, well, hey, at least you get to be Paul McCartney, man. That's good. Obvious Ringo is obvious.
Yeah.
Fair, but I would have been quite okay with Ringo. Ringo is mad underrated.
I feel like he has the perfect rating because it's borderline endearing at this point. And I picked John Lennon because I think I can totally envision a world where somebody reads a book and then wants to murder me.
So. Isn't what was the line about Ringo? He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles.
Yeah, I think Paul said it. Allegedly. I that's one of those things where I'm never entirely sure if it's true or the internet made it up, but either way, it's a great line.
Yeah, well, he's at least not the least memorable of the group. Okay, there's a reason no one was George Harrison.
Which is a shame because Harrison is awesome.
Yeah, he is. There's no bad Beatle in all honesty. But anyway, we'll segue back. I'm sure it'll come up again somehow. But we're going to talk about All In and the many matches that are on the card, which actually is pretty light for an AEW show. It's not 25 matches, so
only
I guess
11.
we'll count our blessings. Yeah, only 11. That's insane for AEW. I guess injuries really did plague the roster. But we're going to start with the pre-show, starting with one person who belongs on the pre-show and one person who does not belong on the pre-show, and it is Jackwell Perry versus Hook for the FTW Championship. Jungle Jabroni belongs on the pre-show. He doesn't belong on the show, but if you have to put him on, you put him on the pre-show. Get that shit out of the way. I'm not watching the pre-show, so I don't gotta see that shit. And if I do watch the pre-show, it's not for that match. So either way, I ain't watching it. Sorry, Hook, you're the man, but you deserve better. Real quick, Ringo, who's gonna win this match?
I think it's gonna be Jungle Boy.
Who?
I think it's gonna be Jack Perry. I want it to be Hook and I think it would be smarter to be Hook. Like, get that crowd going from the get-go, get them into it, get them excited, get them hype early. But I think there's too much potential with this douchebag Jack Perry right now to just let that go so quickly. But I could also see them wanting to just put this FTW title stuff to bed too. So aren't they supposed to be retiring it on Collision?
Allegedly.
That didn't happen. No, I forgot what it was, but it didn't happen on Collision.
Okay. But
Something
but
changed the
Collision is
times.
oh, so they didn't even record it.
No,
Colli-
they did record it. I'm pretty
No, but
sure.
like,
Oh,
but
well,
what I mean is,
spoilers
like,
because this is
But
going
it
to come
didn't
out before
happen.
Collision.
I'm saying it didn't happen.
okay,
Spoilers
yeah,
then.
yeah.
This is coming out before
not
Collision,
retired.
so hopefully you didn't get spoiled, and if you did, are bad.
Well, I guess the spoiler is the segment that was planned didn't happen. I guess is a
Oh.
spoiler. But
It's weird.
Paul, who do you have in this match?
I unfortunately have to agree with Ringo. I think it would be weird for them to take the title off of Jack in this moment, even though like getting rid of it and putting it to bed might be a good thing. And Hook running around with that title just makes him look cool. But turning Perry heel, having him win this title, be a dick, in retaining it against RVD and being a dick to everybody else, like Jerry Lynn, that's what I was looking for. It would be very, very strange if they just immediately took the title off of him, a month or so later. So he retains. If he retires it after that, and just so they can push it aside, fine. But it would just be dumb for him to lose this early. As much as I do not want Hook to lose again, period. It's just like weirdly enough, Hook will be fine, and I think Jack won't if Jack loses, and Hook will be good either way. So it's got to be as I like to call them, the Jungle Jabroni, Jack Perry.
Send Hook. Moving on to the main card. We're gonna
James, we
start.
took 3 minutes apiece on that, and he said 2 words.
We're gonna start with the match of the night, I assume. Guns are blazing in this match. They're going to be shooting from the hip. They are going to be flashing the crowd with weapons. They are going to steal the show at gunpoint. It is going to be former Bullet Club members, the Young Bucks, versus current Bullet Club members or member Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, FTR, for the AEW Tag Team titles. This match is still happening. He didn't shoot someone, but I assume if he did shoot someone, they would still go through with this match because everyone wants to see it that badly. And I guess that's a philosophical question is, how far will you go to see this match? Will you look the other way if someone murders someone to see what might be the greatest tag match of all time? And you don't have to answer that question, but I might ask you again anyway. But Paul, good luck going first with this one, buddy. Who the hell do you got here?
It's weird. If you had asked me 2 weeks ago, or I guess when they announced the match, I probably would have leaned towards, FTR. But now that FTR has become NRA, I think I'm kind of leaning back towards the Bucks. Yes, I popped Danny. That's all I needed out of that. I'm leaning back towards the Bucks just for a safer option. Despite the fact the Bucks have had some backstage issues, to put it mildly, they've never really have had a scandal in the public eye the way that is currently going on with Cash. And we genuinely don't know what's going to happen with Cash in the near or far future concerning his arraignment and his trial and whether or not he pleads guilty or not guilty and so on and so forth. So, innocent until proven guilty on Cash's end, but the safer option is to put the title on the Bucks. And this way, if Cash has to miss time, if you have to suspend him, whatever it is the safer option. Even if it's a short-term thing and the Bucks end up like losing it and it ends up going to, Bullet Club Gold or something like that, like just to get the titles off of FTR in order to keep them in a safer space seems like the smarter play here. So I am going to take the Young Bucks, although this is a very, very tight match and I could easily see FTR winning, even though it is a bit of a risk.
Early in advance, how many stars are you giving this match? What's your star rating of this?
Meltzer, Uncle Dave loves the Bucks and he loves FTR. So, I mean, if they don't pull a 5 at minimum, like they did something wrong. Here's the thing. I think the line would open at 5.5. and then it would probably be bumped up to like a 5 3/4 and maybe even a 6 with the betting, and then after that, I'm not really sure.
All right. Well, Young Bucks all day. We always love the Young Bucks here on the Markdown Podcast. We've been Team Bullet Club all day, and let me tell you something.
Faux life.
Except for AJ Styles.
Let me tell you, the parallels between these two teams facing off this match and the music video for Fall Out Boy Sugar, We're Going Down, is uncanny. And it's really just two things. Is that in the music video, the main character is a little deer boy. He's a dude. He has antlers like a deer, and he has hooves for feet. That's where the Young Bucks come into play. You got your Young Bucks. All right, there we go. And then one of the main lines in the chorus of the song, after it's we're going down in an earlier round, and sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your number one of the bullets. Cash, that's where Cash comes into it. A loaded God complex instead of a loaded gun complex, cock and a bullet. It's a nice little blending of words there by Mr. Stump, Patrick Stump.
I never noticed that. That is very clever.
Yeah, it is.
I also got kind of played out with that song, so I haven't heard it in a while. But
I don't care. Look, I don't want to be one of those guys because I try not to, but like, first 3 albums, Fall Out Boy, all day. I don't care about anything they released after that too much.
That's fair.
But I don't dislike it either. I just don't. Just not for me. But anyway, I'm gonna go with the Young Bucks just because I'm going really for who I want to win these matches. I want the Young Bucks to win. Yeah. I don't think they owe FTR to anything. Like, I don't think they have to put them over right now. I think they should have. If they were gonna have the third match a year ago when the Bucks randomly won the titles before dropping it to Swerve in Our Glory, that was the time. If you were gonna have FTR go 2 over 3, that was the time. But now, I don't think so. I just think the Bucks should take it here. And then, what you said would bring in Bullet Club Gold into the mix. I'm into that. If they were the ones to take it off of them, I don't care if it's Juice and Jay. If Juice is getting a title, I'm all for that. Give this man a fucking title.
You're gonna get a second Gunn's title reign, and you're gonna like it.
See,
I probably will like it this time.
You definitely like it more, but I don't know if it'd be the Guns considering the Bucks just beat them. But the Bucks did win by cheating, even though the Guns cheated first. So I guess that does open a door to a rematch. But
I don't think that's gonna happen. But I think they would have Chris Jericho levels of I beat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night of heat if they took both their tag titles off of FTR and the Young Bucks. I think that'd be epic, quite the feather in their caps. But I don't think.
Well, Ringo, since you feel like interrupting, who do you have in this match? Not that you care. Like, who do you? Do you even like either of these teams? Or
I'm fond of the Bucks. We had our Super Kiss party once upon a time. I always wanted it to be the Bucks. That's never changed. Real life circumstances didn't change that. But now I am very confident the Bucks will win. Not only do I want them to win, I am sure they will win. And I'm going to give it to the Bucks. And for that, I will thank real life circumstances. It's going to be good, though. That's the only prediction that really matters. We're going to be the real winners in this match. It's going to be phenomenal.
How many stars is it going to be?
I'm going to say at least 4.5.
All right.
Somebody remind me to put in the video somewhere around here the picture of James being kissed by the Young Bucks.
I was thinking that too. Like, if you don't do it, I'm gonna I gotta do that.
I gotta remember. Also, the weirdest thing about that picture is not the fact that he did it; it's that all 3 of them, I think, at least Nick and James, are mostly clean shaven. Nick has the sideburns.
Yeah, but the chops going.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Matt might have had the bigger chops too, but maybe not the full beard. And you were just baby faced. It is surreal.
I thought the weirdest thing about that picture was that all 3 of them were erect. Like, That was in public.
Let me tell you, it didn't feel weird.
James
But
tucked
like
it
it
into
was in
the
public.
James had
It's
tucked it
okay
into
that
the
you were
spinner belt.
Like it's
I mean-
okay that you were turned on, but it's like that you're in a public forum. Like there's probably kids around, I assume.
At another instance with the Bucks, this time with Hangman, we all directly pointed at his peen.
I've seen that
peen.
picture. It is
And
hilarious.
It's always a good time with the Bucks and I. It's always a good time.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess what's worse, Cash flashing a gun in a road rage incident or public indecency by James and the Bucks?
It was a
'Cause
wrestling crowd. Everyone knew what they were there for.
there we go.
Hangman's dick.
All right. Well, the interesting we got a nice split here. Well, we've been split for both so far, so that's good. I guess it doesn't matter, but we're gonna move on to the one and only, because you only get one. Okay, this isn't WWE where you get two after having two bumped from the show. Okay, this is AEW. You get your one women's match, and you will not like it. Okay. That being said, I probably will like this match because I am optimistic about women's wrestling. Despite so much to the contrary being telling me to stop trying to care. We got champion Hikaru Shida filling in for Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm versus Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker, TNT. I feel like we said the same thing. And a fatal four-way match. You know, the rich history of AEW shows and women's fatal four-way matches, as Tony Khan was so eager to tell us. You know, there's just this vibrant, colorful, proud history of fatal four-way matches, like the very first All In the prequel to the squeakquel that we have now, where there was a women's fatal four-way, which I believe Chelsea Green won, and she went on to do great things. Well, she was the star of the match, regardless.
Who won,
We don't
James?
talk about the winner.
Oh.
Well, I really don't remember who won then.
I was gonna say I do believe they're related to Tully Blanchard.
Gotcha.
Barely.
Yeah, I stand by what I said. Chelsea was the biggest star in that match. Hot mess, Chelsea Green. Anyone remember that? But
Yep.
This match is gonna be good, borderline great, depending on how much they give it and how much and where it's actually placed on the card. So you know, because I think the crowd's gonna be into it because you got hometown girl Saraya, and you got Australian Toni Storm, and as Rev has said, both those accents are the same. They're basically the same countries, same continents, same country. They're identical. If you put a British person and an Australian person in the same room, you can never tell them apart. That's a direct quote from Rev, I believe 10, 15 minutes ago in this video.
I'm pretty sure Letterkenny just did an episode about that, and they hated each other until the end, and then they just started calling each other cunts in a good way, and it worked out.
There we go. Wow, just casually dropping the C word on the podcast.
See you next Tuesday, baby.
I mean,
we just got to the requirements for like sponsored like content, and you're just throwing it all away just like that. But anyway,
very common word in England, in Australia, in Scotland, in Ireland. They throw that word around like crazy.
I've seen Jim Jeffries stand up. I know, but
I love Jim Jeffries.
He's so good.
Yeah,
we should get him on the pod.
Yeah, we should get him on the pod. Honest. Oh my god, we should have got him for the Cash story. That would have been fucking perfect. Like, what is he even doing last week?
We should have him
2 weeks
review
ago?
the match.
Yeah, there we go. I'm sure you know someone that knows him, so please make it happen. But Ringo. First of all, who is the Ringo in this match? And second of all, who's gonna win this match?
I feel like the Ringo, and like I've really warmed up to her, but I do think the Ringo of the match is Toni, or the champion. which is
It's the
sad.
champion because she wasn't going to be in the match if Hayter wasn't injured.
Yeah, she's the replacement, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
It's
it-
just
wait.
weird that the replacement is the champion. That's some WWE shit right there.
yeah.
But then that
But-
makes Jamie Pete best, and I'm not having that.
Well, you know, that's her fault for getting hurt, I guess, because that's what we're doing on the podcast is blaming people for
As we
stuff.
do.
But
As we do.
um,
As for who wins, I feel like it's obvious to say Saraya, but I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks they're gonna set up Jamie Hayter versus Britt Baker with this. So that part of me thinks Britt's gonna win. The other part says, maybe Shida shouldn't lose the title this quickly, considering it feels like they're really trying to reset the division. But
does it feel like that, or is it because they just hot potato the title again, and now it feels like it's another fresh
yeah, but it
start?
was a
We
hot potato
wanted
we
to
all
feel like
liked.
that.
Yeah, it was a good, like, I wanted to take a bite of that potato. That sounded bad. Why did that sound so bad?
Because you said potato.
And also, I mean, I guess it sounds like you're objectifying women and calling them potatoes, but
Potatoes.
What is it? Do the
Boil
word
them, mash
really
them,
quick.
stick them in a
There-
stew.
Thank you. I'm a bad nerd.
Yeah. See, you say something about spuds.
Right, I let him go too far, and that's on me. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Britt. I think Britt's winning.
wild. All right.
It's Tony
This-
Khan's biggest show, and it's his biggest female favorite.
Sure. I mean, the logic, I guess, makes sense, except for the part where it'll lead to a Hayter versus Baker match, because I've given up on that at this point. The time to do that was a year and a half ago. And here we are, just as nowhere as we were a year and a half ago. But I get it. The logic makes sense. I guess she's the second most likely, or maybe I don't know. This is actually a tougher match to call than I
Right?
thought. I could just safely say it's not going to be Toni because she just lost the title. Otherwise, I would have just assumed she would defend successfully, honestly, if she was still the champ going into it. But I'm going to throw it to Paul before I predict. Paul, who do you have in this match? I get it. You're probably going to pick Shida because you love her, but
Well, before I did have a call because I object to who Ringo is because I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say Britt because, like, just talent wise, out of these, I don't know about Saraya because she's wrestled so infrequently since she's been back. But I mean, if you make Saraya Lennon and then Britt Ringo, everything else I feel like kind of falls into place. But look, Toni, please, for the love of God, do not give Hikaru Shida a 2-week transitional title reign. What in the ever living fuck would be the point of that? That is so bad in my opinion. But I get it. You put the title on Saraya. It's her home crowd. They're gonna absolutely flip a shit for her anytime she, even throws a punch. I understand the pop would be amazing. No, just no. Don't fuck me on this. Don't fuck the crowd on this.
you're asking him to fuck the crowd on this.
No, I meant with the audience in general. I guess the crowd. Trust me, the British crowd will back Shida, but they're obviously going to back Saraya the most. Do not fuck us on this, Toni. Leave the title on Shida. Just let her put out banger after banger of matches as you rebuild this division the same way you're doing with Statlander. And eventually, when you rebuild a title contender / when Jamie Hayter comes back, which is kind of the same thing, then you can take the title off her. Leave the fucking title on Shida. Please, I'm begging you. Do not fuck this up.
Yeah, Shida's gonna lose. She wasn't
I'm
even
picking with
gonna
my heart
be,
here, man.
she wasn't even gonna be on the card. She was the oddball out here. I mean, you got to think originally too. To be fair,
To be fair,
this probably was going to be a singles match between Hayter and Saraya, and then it was going to be a singles match between Storm and Hayter. And I just feel like we're so far from whatever the original plan is that I guess this is fine, all things considered. But I'm gonna go with Saraya because let's give her a fucking moment. I know she hasn't had any like blow away matches or anything, but like, you know, it's still awesome that she came back from a career and an injury, and I feel like we're all taking that for granted because of Bryan and because of Edge, and you know. I think she lands somewhere in the middle of those two, where
I'm taking
Bryan.
it for granted because of Ronnie Radke. I just don't.
I don't know, like that guy. I just don't think about him because I don't have to, because I don't listen to shitty music.
You do every time Saraya comes out, you hear his shitty music,
and it's fine for an entrance song. It's not something I would ever listen to otherwise. So
Also,
like again, it's easy to ignore.
When was the last time we heard that song? She's been coming out with the Outcasts, and they have their own song. So
that's fair.
I guess this will be the
we'll
first time we've heard it in
Sunday.
a while.
Yeah,
it'll be the first time we've heard it in a long while.
She wanted him to perform live at Wembley.
What did Tony say? No.
We'll find out on Sunday, I guess.
I mean, there's no way. You got to have that Fozzy performance. You can't have.
Yeah, you can't
have Fallen in Reverse.
Then it'll be till 9 o'clock local time, the end of the show, instead of 8.
Yeah, but I am interested to see how Toni and Saraya really interact in this match, because there really hasn't been cracks in the Outcasts like that. Like, they don't win all the time, and sometimes their booking doesn't make total sense, where it just feels like they should be a little more dominant than they are. But I think this will be the first time we see any cracks within the foundation of the Outcasts. And I'm interested to see, because the thing I like right now about what they're doing is I like that Toni has become kind of unhinged, and she's going for, like, she's changing her look to like a Marilyn Monroe type of look, but then she's going off the boil and going a little insane. She's like coming out in like pajamas / lingerie, essentially, like not wearing any shoes. Just like weird touch, but all right. You know,
just
she's become
raiding Juice's closet.
Yeah, she's becoming very honest. Like, she's actually set herself up where losing is good for her character at this point. So it's going to be interesting. But it's funny because I think that sets her up to be the person to take the pin, maybe. But otherwise, I really thought Britt was the one who was going to be pinned, like going into this. And I almost find that more interesting, is who's going to be pinned in this. But I'm going to go with Saraya. I'm going to say she pins Britt. You know, just because so when Hayter comes back, she has a heel to face, and you don't do a face versus face. Yes.
I was just saying, I just want to push back a little on Saraya, because I feel a Saraya title reign would be a little bad for the division at this point, because it'll be one of those title reigns akin to MJF, and I think we've brought this up before, or at least I have, where she's not going to wrestle a lot. And I guess the character work would definitely be there, and that could be, you know, maybe good for the division in that semblance. But like, I just feel like we just need more good matches out of the women, and Saraya just holding the title hostage doesn't really, you know, allow for that. I guess you can do both, maybe. I don't know. I think Shida retaining the title and going out there and just putting on bangers every week is better than Saraya just holding it hostage, James.
Wait, before you, James, are you going to directly address what he said, or?
Yes, directly address what he said.
Okay, because I was also going to. So you go, by all means, Ringo, go at it. Give me your best
shot. Push back on your pushback.
Yeah.
The division is already held hostage by Tony Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter who's the champion, because he only puts on who he wants to put on when he wants to put them on. And I know that sounds like, duh, it's a booker, but he's never it's been a very, very, very long time since he's treated the women's division like it was actually important.
Oh, agreed.
And what?
Agreed, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he values Saraya. It's very clear that he does. So, and there's not a problem with that. She has value. It's not like some weird, like, why does he like her? It's Saraya. It makes sense. So you have a big name, who can hold the championship on his schedule, I think it kind of works out. And I think I'm more and more, the more we're talking about it, I'm kind of psyching myself to expect her to win now. So I'm going to change my vote to Saraya pinning Toni Storm.
Oh,
And it was
shit.
always, this was always it. I'm not changing anything, actually. I was slow to the draw here. I'm in fact, this is the first time I'm speaking this entire prediction show. Yeah, I think it's going to be Saraya. It just makes the most sense for how this division is already booked. And when you do have a champion like Chris Statlander, who, granted, we could be getting more of, we should be getting more of.
Please
watch Collision.
No, I take that back. I do want to. I gotta DVR it. That's the only thing. There's no way I'm watching it live.
I will
Yeah, no, I've never watched it live in my life.
Yeah,
the lack of a DVR has been killing me, despite the fact that I could probably just watch it on the app, but then I get the commercials, and that's annoying.
So I would like to push forward Ringo's pushback of your pushback, and say that that's what Shida did during her first title reign, and it was fine, but the division didn't advance until Britt took the title off of her.
No crowds, and most of the wrestlers weren't there due to COVID. Continue.
Cool. And you know who she's fought all the time? Nyla Rose. And who did she fight first after winning this title? Nyla Rose. Who will she probably fight 3 more times in the next 6 months? Nyla Rose. And they've all been good matches. That's not the issue, but there's no solution there okay, look, we all like to complain for some reason about champions holding titles hostage. And it's because of Roman. But one thing is that it is a big deal. He has elevated the title. It's hit a point of there's no more elevation to be had, and now there's diminishing returns. But the initial first year and a half of it was an elevation of it. Brock Lesnar elevated the title by not being there all the time. And there's always the two sides of the argument. A lot of people believe that, what I just said, and a lot of people don't believe that. And the thing is, I agree more with the people that push back against that, but it's borderline undeniable. It is tangible, the difference it makes. And MJF wrestling so little, his title reign also feels like a big deal. And MJF meets us in the middle, where MJF is there every week. He's not like Roman and Brock, where he's barely ever there. He's there every week.
Yeah.
And Saraya would be there pretty much almost every week, maybe a few weeks less than MJF. But and the women's division gets 1 match a week anyway, so it's not always going to be the champion anyway. So it'll be fine that Saraya's not wrestling every week with the title, because she won't, even if she was able to, she wouldn't get booked to, because like James said, that's just not how Tony Khan books his show. So you might as well have the big star, the big bad come. So that way, again, when Jamie Hayter comes back, you can if you want Britt to be the one to take the top of Saraya as a face, fine. If you want Jamie to do it, fine. If you want if you want fucking Sky Blue to do it, to finally get a win over Saraya or some shit, or to get a win, period,
she does in Ring of Honor. She really
you can do that. I know, but I watched the match with Ruby on Dynamite this past Wednesday, where they're like, oh, she's never beaten Ruby, and it's like, god damn, they've had 5 matches already.
Yeah, right.
She hasn't gotten the win, but that's something you can do with Saraya. There's no real downside to putting the title on Saraya, other than you might get a few less matches and the quality might dip a little bit. But that sometimes is, hey man, we've seen with AEW, it's not just, there's so many great workers, but you always need that little extra. It's not that Shida doesn't have that, because she has the connection with the crowd, but it's a filler title reign, and that's okay. She got her moment of winning in front of the crowd now. It can end. It doesn't have to end. It doesn't have to end.
I will also, I don't want to spend too much time on this match, but I will say,
what are you
we'll wait for that.
Right? I do agree with you that I think Shida, with this reign, I think the important thing was the moment of winning it. Certain reigns are defined by the reign itself. Other reigns are defined by the match that they won it in. Sometimes it's both. I think this reign is going to be defined by how she won it. And it felt like a huge moment because there was so much strife concerning women's wrestling. There still is, but at that particular moment in time, it was huge. And they really capitalized with that win. So I think when we look back on it in a couple of years, people will look at that win as a much bigger deal. So I'm content if she does. I'll be sad if she loses because I love Shida and I would like for her to have a very good reign. But it won't take away from how epic that moment was.
Yeah, and look, I understand what you guys are saying, and I can see your viewpoint, and in some aspects I do agree with it. It's just we disagree on how we think the women's division should be booked going forward because we think that different things will work. And as I like to say, reasonable people can disagree and still see the other side. So
that's crazy.
Absolutely not. If you don't come around to our side, we're kicking you out.
Well, you're unreasonable people. So
say hi to producer boy for me. Get out of here.
I will say
we're the most reasonable people ever.
We have quadrupled the amount of time Tony Khan usually gives a women's segment on this segment. So
oh, absolutely. And that would seem to be a sign to move on, but I'm not going to do that yet. Because I would like to push back on James's nice comments he said about the title win. Bro, that fucking title win was, in a vacuum, a very nice moment for Shida, who deserves it. But the second you peel back a little bit, it's so half-hearted, cynical, a ploy. Like, it's such a hot potato for the sake of it. It's such a shut the fuck up and leave us alone. I'm sorry we showed that sign on TV the week before moment. It's actually terrible when you think about it. Like, the moment itself was fantastic. No, but it literally was a shut everyone the fuck up moment.
See, but I'll take that. I'll take a shut the fuck up moment over a let's make lemonade situation. Like, I will take them saying, all right, we hear you. Even if this isn't what we want to be doing, we'll give you what you want, as opposed to see you on Raw in 2 weeks. So I hear what you're saying, and I'm not even going to disagree with it. But I will say that I would rather that.
Yeah. Look, new producer boy. All right, we're not moving on here. This is important. We're showing a spotlight on women's wrestling. If you want to silence the women and move on, I mean, fine, we'll do it. Moving on to a men's match, I guess. We'll talk about Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve, Strickland, and Christian Cage.
This is why he wants us on Zoom and not StreamYard. We can't put up banners saying he hates women. We just can't.
Yeah, that's true. That's premeditated. Wow, you thought ahead, man.
A, that's your bit. And B, look, you guys want this episode to be 3 hours? By all means.
Look, man. Look, we can't help it. All right. Where is this during the lives? All right. Where is this speed things up during the lives? Darby Allin, Sting versus Swerve and Christian Cage. I love everyone in this match. It's a filler match. That being said, it's going to be such a fun filler match. It's going to be it's a Sting match on a it's a Sting filler match on the pay-per-view, which is like one of the best formulas in the world. Who would have fucking guessed that this former main event guy is just using the bathroom break spot on the card to put on fucking insane matches where he jumps off of huge things. That being said, babyfaces win. I think I'm gonna say the babyfaces win. I know you're thinking about it a little more because maybe this is the time, but maybe it is the time. Who do you got, Paul? You seem like you're about to say something.
I was more thinking, because I think Darby and Sting are going to win. I was more thinking, I wonder who's going to end up, because it's a coffin match. I wonder who's going to end up in the coffin for Swerve and Christian. I guess it's got to be Christian. Really? You think
Swerve. No, it's got to be Swerve. Christian's the champion, so you got to protect him a little bit. Yeah. And Christian was already in a coffin earlier this year.
Fair. That's what I was thinking. Maybe he did it again. I also, for whatever weird reason, I feel like Prince Nana is also going to end up in the coffin.
That would be actually hilarious.
Yeah. That's actually a good shout. I think that's going to happen. Ringo.
That makes sense.
I'm sorry. Did you say more, Paul?
No, I was going to say no. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I got Darby and Sting. It's too. I don't want Sting to lose yet, and I don't think he will. Not in front of
Ringo?
This crowd.
So for those of you who have not had the opportunity to watch Collision yet, earmuffs. All right, everybody, earmuffs.
Wait, I haven't watched Collision yet. It's fucking Friday.
But we apparently know things that happened.
Oh, because it was pre-taped this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, I know Sting and Darby were wrestling in that tag match. Who won it?
I don't know.
They were wrestling in an 8-man tag.
I don't know.
Oh, right. Wasn't like Punk involved or something? And there was a mystery partner?
Yes, it was Punk and a mystery partner. Joe was on commentary.
Right,
I gotta assume the babyface is one.
I did
Then.
not
That's
check.
I don't know why they would book that match ahead of, like, why have Sting wrestle twice unless he's gonna get like the win there and potentially lose on Sunday. It just feels weird. Like, you have Swerve in that match, you have, I believe, Christian in that match. Or is it Luchasaurus in that match? Producer boy, number 2. Are you looking it up?
No, but I don't
Bro,
want
we
the
don't send a
spoilers.
live Google, man. We're not live Googling on our pre-recorded show.
I'm sorry. So, all right, I am genuinely worried. I think it was Bischoff who put it in my head that, like, he couldn't think of a better way for Sting to retire than in front of 80,000 fans.
It was
And
him, but yeah.
I hate Bischoff, but man, like, it's not wrong. But I just
I
don't
think
want
he
it.
could still win even if he's retiring.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That's true. That's true. And I would love for Sting.
That'd be Sheamus.
But I also don't see. But he's not retiring. He's just.
But yeah, he's going to show
us.
up and interfere in this match. But yeah.
I also don't think Sting is the type of guy to go out without putting somebody over. Admittedly, I do kind of think the last match. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. He's not retiring because he's going to put Darby over before he leaves.
Yeah.
Good guys win. I don't even know why. I was nervous for a second, but you guys really held my hand through that process, so thank you.
No problem. That's what friends are for. Moving on, we got the Golden Elite, if you want to call them that.
Hung lovers.
Sure. Hung lovers, Kota Ibushi, Kenneth Omega-san, and Hangman Adam Page versus Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold of Juice Robinson and Jay White. This match was put together just so Juice Robinson could wrestle in front of 8,000 people like he deserves. The man is a legend. We're going to interview that legend one day, so look out for that in the future. But you know, he deserves it. If there's anyone in this match that deserves it, it's him. If we had to rank him in order, it's him, Takeshita, Kenny, Ibushi, Hangman, Jay. No, that doesn't feel right. I don't want to put any of these guys last, actually. I'll put 3 of them 5th. But I'm excited for this match. I know it's no Kenny singles match, but it's going to be fun. Okay, if Juice and Jay proved anything, is that they could put on one of the best tag matches of the year whenever the fuck they want to. So, you know, I trust them. That being said, Ringo, who do you have in this match? I assume you're going baby faces.
It's not even because it's baby faces. It's just the Golden Lovers don't lose. I'm sorry, they just don't. And you should not book this match to have them lose. So I love Jay White. Juice is incredible, and I really do enjoy Takeshita as well. But no, Golden hung lovers all the way, Golden Elite all the way. And I want this to build tension between Hangman and Kenny again. No. Because this is a merry-go-round that just doesn't stop.
Okay, interesting. I mean, I do think if the faces were to lose, it would be because of a Hangman insecurity thing. But that's the way we said that little detail with the beer in the hospital, you know.
Hangman stories have always been great because of the subtleties.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an Elite thing in general. Like, they're so good at the little thing. I mean, no, what am I talking? The Elite don't know how to tell stories. They just do high spots, obviously. But
just to sell t-shirts. Just to sell
t-shirts. It's a t-shirt company, and it's great. You know, they're no Redbubble, they're no TeePublic, but you know, they're pretty. You know, it's pretty good. We're not sponsored, but you know, one day.
Cornette? Is that you?
Would Cornette put over TeePublic and Redbubble?
Does he know what they are?
Touche.
Yeah. My mom saw like a Redbubble segment on like a morning talk show. I was like, oh, I know that company because my son used to always order from there. But Paul, who do you have in the 6-man tag, this trios match, if you will?
I'm going to start by saying I think this has opportunity to be one of those show stealer type of matches.
I think so too.
Because there are obviously some real standout matches on this card. FTR versus the Bucks, the main event
Name
of
5.
MJF versus Cole. I think the other show stealer could be House of Black against the Acclaimed, Badass Billy Gunn. But I think this is one of those that could really come in, steal the show just because of the amount of talent involved. It's absurd. I do think that the Golden Elite or the Hung Lovers or whatever we're calling them, I do think they take it here. I don't know who takes the pin. My leaning is Juice because I think they're trying to protect Takeshita a little bit, and Jay White's not taking the pin here.
It's 100% Juice. You don't got to be so nice about it, but I appreciate it.
I'm trying to work through this in my head. But I get my show stealing here really kind of depends on what type of shape Kota Ibushi's in. Obviously, I think at the
Blood and Guts.
Blood and Guts. Thank you. I was like, War Games. It's not War Games.
It's War Games, but
at Blood and Guts. There was a lot of people saying he didn't look his best. Whether it was ring rust or I heard reports or I guess rumors, that he might have had the flu. Whatever it was, I don't think he was 100%. So I'm hoping he comes back. Harder, better, faster, stronger. And so he's with Kenny, it's definitely gonna be harder.
Rock Hard Juice Robinson's on the other team, so
yeah. And I think that if Kota is at 100%, I think this is going to be a phenomenal match that the Golden Elite will end up winning. Feud continues though.
I agree with you guys. The Golden Elite win. The faces usually win this type of match, and I feel no reason to pin any of those three right now. As much as Jay White pinning one of them would be a big deal, or Takeshita pinning Kenny. Actually, wait a minute. Maybe the heels do win and Takeshita pins Kenny.
I think that's that would be the scenario.
But I'm going to stick with the baby faces because with this pack card, I don't know if this is where they go all in, pun definitely not intended, on the Omega Takeshita story per se. So I'll agree with you guys, and I'm going to go with the baby faces here.
Keep an eye out for that carny piece of shit Don Callis. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if Kenny and Takeshita end up, in a separate battle, maybe taking each other out, and it kind of ends up with Ibushi and Hangman against Jay and Juice. So
who don't know each other as well, so they might not have the chemistry there. Yeah, there's something there. Yep. We've really set up a good scenario for us to pick the heels. None of us did,
but they got to overcome the odds, baby. Like, come on.
Yeah.
The only reason why I think the faces win here is because Kenny beating Takeshita doesn't feel as big a moment. It caps the story, I'm sure, but the Golden Hung Elite Lovers
thing
club, that's a big moment, seeing the three of them celebrating. So I just feel like All In is going to be a show of very big moments, and it's meant to be very clippable, which is why I'm leaning towards a lot of the baby faces throughout the night. Or Saraya, I guess. But
she's a baby face there.
I don't know, man.
She'll wrestle heel, but they're gonna cheer the fuck out of her.
But I think they're gonna cheer the fuck out of most people. That's the thing. I think very few
people.
Yeah,
but it's a little. Yeah, like that's the same thing from like Money in the Bank, but certain people got cheered a little more. But don't, man, you really just love crediting women. Oh my God. Sorry, let's wrap this episode, but you just don't want to give Saraya anything. Sheesh, man.
No, it's just she's a heel. That's the only thing. She's a heel.
Yeah, because wrestling crowds are just known for abiding by those fucking rules.
No. I said that I was going with most of the baby faces tonight and Saraya because she's a heel.
Yeah, and then Rev said she was gonna get cheered like a baby face, and he said, "Well, I don't know about that.
All right,
She
fair,
might not,
fair,
because she's a
fair.
piece of shit." So just hey, man, cards on the table. That's just what I saw there. But moving on to actually real quick. Hold on. Guess what card this is?
Jack.
Me or
Okay, I couldn't hear either one of you guys.
wait, me or him? Me or him?
Either one. Just throw out a guess.
Oh, I said
Seven
Jack.
of spades.
Seven of spades, Jack or what?
Oh, I think you mentioned it was a spade earlier. So
It's
spoiler.
3 diamonds.
Ah,
I was
drink.
closer though.
Drink.
Okay. All right, one more guess. One more card. Different card.
Ace of diamonds.
3 of diamonds.
That's so crazy. It's honest.
Oh.
Damn it.
You're
But
not
it
being
actually was
honest with
Ace of
us.
Hearts underneath. So you were so
I
close.
forgot I forgot what Reddit was. Damn.
That was good. But anyway, moving on. We have the Stadium Stampede, Anarchy in the Arena, Rumble in the Tumble match. It is Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and the best friends of Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta versus Penta Zero Miedo, and Penta, sorry, versus the Blackpool Combat Club of Jonathan Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler, Yuta, Santana, and Ortiz.
Mike Santana.
Sorry, Wikipedia is not up to date. Michael Santana and Ortiz. And what's going to be just the most fun, just a bunch of fun. And is Blackpool Combat Club the hometown heroes because their name has Blackpool in it? Are they the hometown boys for this?
I don't think so.
I think they are.
But what a time to not have William Regal, right?
Right.
Right? You just had to go be with your fucking kid. What a loser. What kind of dad is there for their kid? Am I right, Ref?
Fucking beat me to it.
But anyway, I don't know who wins this one. But I'm just gonna go first, and I'm gonna say the baby faces win. And then somehow that sets up hopefully an Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley singles match, and hopefully a Claudio Castagnoli versus Orange Cassidy singles match. Anyway, Ringo, who do you have in this match? Ringo? Did he pass out? Is he okay?
Maybe
Is he on the
went to go.
floor?
He might have went to go write a song that we could put on the refrigerator later.
It's is he? Oh man! Someone call an ambulance. Someone call a ambulance for this guy over here. Anyway, I guess we'll be professionals and move on and not act like one of our colleagues is having a moment. But Paul, who do you have in this fucking madness? And more importantly, does Eddie Kingston successfully set someone on fire this time?
If he does, it'll be Mox. I'm actually very curious to see if this is pre-taped live or maybe a combination of both.
I think we get a combo of both.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be a little difficult to do the combination of both, because if it does end up in the ring at the end, it's going to be really difficult to have all of these guys match what they look like, coming out of everything, unless they do a bunch of pre-tape stuff that happens all in the back, and then they do like lighting somebody on fire or something like that, and then they have a backstage brawl that spills out into the ring. So maybe a combination, I guess, seems best. I'm just curious to see what they end up doing. I'm actually very, very intrigued by that. I'm hyped to see the crowd reaction for Eddie, because this is an interesting dynamic, because he is obviously so over in America and especially New York, that I'm curious to see how he is with a British crowd.
Over as fuck. There's no way.
Yeah, I think he will be, just because he is just so genuine. But I'm curious to see the reaction. I'm curious to see a lot of reactions. Orange Cassidy is on that list. Claudio, I think, is going to be very, very over. And quite frankly, before I do get to my prediction, I think we'd be kind of remiss in not mentioning the fact that, Rey Fenix not going to be in this match because of, he's working on becoming an American resident and he can't really leave the country. And that kind of sucks because him not being in this match and the 5th member of the Blackpool Combat Club Proud and Powerful team would have been very, very interesting. So that sucks. Also curious to see if Pac shows up. I don't know how hurt he is, but we'll see.
He's faking it.
As for my pick, and I have no fucking idea. I think it would be kind of tough to bring back Giancarlo Santana and Ortiz. That's a very inside baseball joke. But Mike Santana and Ortiz back and have them lose, I think that would kind of suck. At the same time, I feel like the faces kind of need the win here. And so much of this, I think, is going to be focused on Mox and Eddie. And I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there could be a good chance Eddie ends up costing his team just because he's so focused on the fucked up shit Moxley has done, starting with hanging out with Claudio and then moving on to injuring, Rey Fenix on Wednesday, that I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think the Blackpool Combat Club and Proud and Powerful end up pulling this out because Eddie becomes so obsessed with trying to just fix Moxley, as he said on Wednesday, that, between Moxley being mad at him, Claudio hating him, Ortiz hating him, I think it's just going to catch up with him, and I think that's how the faces lose.
Okay.
Even though I'm rooting for them, but
yeah, I mean, the guy has a lot of broken relationships, so it's understandable that could cost him the match. Ringo, what card is this?
2 of hearts for you and me.
It's the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I don't remember Yu-Gi-Oh
Behind
cards having bats like that.
my blue
I was
eyes.
hidden by a 4 of clubs. I was gonna rip it to be like Kaiba in the show, but
Don't
I would
do
have
that.
picked a different I would do it. It's not I'm just not ripping that particular.
I
Blue
would have
Eyes.
driven to your house. I don't even know you live, and I would have found it, and I would have beat the shit out of you if you ripped that in half.
I live on 1080 Peterson Street. But yeah, who do you have in this match, Ringo?
I have the Blackpool Combat Club and the Proud and Powerful.
More important question before you give your explanation. I asked Paul the same question. Does Eddie successfully light someone on fire this time?
I don't think successfully, no. I think there will be an attempt, as there should be. I think it's going to be the Blackpool Combat Club and Proud and Powerful. I know that Nick said that the baby faces need it more, but the truth is the last major feud that the Blackpool Combat Club were in were with the Elite and they lost. So I think they do need the win a little bit more right now. And I love, I love the Best Friends and I love Penta and I love Eddie, but the Best Friends just lose. That's what they do. Like it sucks, but it's true. Like they lose. Orange doesn't, but they lose. And Penta loses. So what's up?
Oh, I was just signaling for when you were done. But I was gonna say also the Blackpool Combat Club winning this match does potentially set up for Moxley versus Orange for the international title, possibly at All Out, which I think is something we all want to see.
And that's what I'm starting to like slightly resent about this All In card. It feels like so much of it is just being used to set up All Out. And
that's kind of what I always figured it would be, though.
But it shouldn't.
But it shouldn't.
No, agreed. But when they announce them so close,
you don't set up you don't use an 80,000 person show to set up an 8,000 person show.
Yeah, you don't use WrestleMania to set up Payback. You don't bump a match off SummerSlam to have it at Payback. It's weird how Payback keeps coming into this. But
yeah, that's right there.
I thought you were going to say Raw 2 weeks later, but
well, no, see, that's to set up Payback. Oh God, whatever. There'll be a prediction show for that next
setup
week.
Within a setup.
Yeah,
we're all just getting
the
set
stories
up.
never end. It's just the bottom of the third. According to some people. But you guys have convinced me. I'm going to change my answer. I'm going with the Blackpool Combat Club. I think you guys are right. Isn't it crazy to think that if Brian wasn't injured, we probably would have just had Brian versus Omega instead of 2 of these matches, but
All right,
you know.
low key. I mean, I'm devastated that Brian's hurt. I'm really glad they're not getting this match because I want us to have it.
Oh, a Grand Slam again?
Yeah, I want it to be a Grand Slam again.
Yeah, but like on pay-per-view, actually it might get this. It's Brian, so it might end up being just as long either way. But it would be nice to have no commercial breaks in it, even though we'll be there, so it won't matter. But all right, fair enough. But anyway, there's gonna be a fun match though. But you guys have convinced me Blackpool Combat Club are gonna win. Now moving on to a match I would have spent 0 time on, and I still don't want to spend a lot of time on, but I want to acknowledge how into the match I am now, as we did on our Dynamite review, and that is William Heron versus Christopher Jericho, or Will Ospreay, as you might know him. The big brev, local brev, hometown brev, coming in. Real quick accent check. Can we get some accents real quick, guys, since we're talking about Will Ospreay?
You taking the piss?
Who do you think you are, bruv?
Taking the piss, bruv. Are you bent? Sorry for the antiquated are you bent jokes. I watched the In-Betweeners a lot. And it's just one of the only things I could say in the accents. But anyway, friend, Ospreay friend, high flying friend, Fozzy friend. I'm into this match now all of a sudden because of one contract sign-in. I'm super into this match. But I am going to put my prediction first. Will Ospreay is going to win. This is one of the few times where the babyface is just going to put the other person over, and it's going to be fine, and no one's going to complain. There's so few times that I see this crowd booing the end of a match. But if Jericho won, they would boo the hell out of it. Jericho's the face going into it, but he's going to be booed like crazy during the match. I mean, no, he is the face, but like,
not here.
He won't be there. Yeah, no, not for. They'll sing to his entrance. He'll get the pop. They'll probably get an early "This is awesome" chant just for like the spectacle of it, and they're gonna boo everything he does because he's not the hometown boy. But I'm expecting this match to be so much better than we think. I just believe in Sir William after he got that rub from OC last year. It's done so much for him. It catapulted him to a win over Kenny Omega, and over Okada. Now he's going to complete the trifecta we all think of Omega, Okada, Chris Jericho. But who do you guys have? And it's Ospreay, right? It's just Ospreay. We can move on. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this one, right?
It should be Ospreay.
Yeah, it 100% should be. I was just going to say, I think the only thing that outside of the match itself, I was kind of thinking about, outside of the result actually, was I'm curious to see how well Ospreay can, I don't want to say drag Jericho to a good match, but I think obviously Ospreay is probably going to be more of the leader here. So I'm curious to see how well they do together. And I understand Jericho, ring veteran, obviously knows what the fuck he's doing, but Ospreay is going to be doing more of the high spots than Jericho. So.
I gotta say,
drag is a
tough
bad word.
When Jericho had such a good Ring of Honor championship run.
Yeah.
Like
had a lot of good matches.
He had a lot of good matches. He could still go. My problem with Jericho is not bell to bell. My problem with Jericho is how long these feuds go and how long these programs go. That's really, and the fact that he tends to leech on to whatever the hottest act is in the company. Those tend to be, which Ospreay is definitely up there right now after his Omega feud. Those are my only problems.
He's run out of people in AEW, so now he's leeching on the hottest people in other companies.
Yep, there you go. So I'm sure this match is going to be great, and now we have a story that's going to make it even greater. And granted, I still think both of these men could have been booked into better spots for All In. I think we could have done Jericho versus Guevara. I think we could have done Ospreay versus Guevara. But regardless, this is going to be a good match, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Is Will still Rev Pro champ or no?
No.
It would have been sick if he came out with that title in Wembley.
I mean, he changed the IWGP United States Championship to the IWGP UK Championship.
Is he still
So
that
he
champ?
changed the what? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then he's coming out with that. He's got it.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
good. He's coming out with a UK title, or at least a UK branded title. That's going to be so good.
They changed the little United States flag to like the UK flag.
But I mean, I'm just like the Rev Pro title would have been really, really cool, and it would have been a coup for Rev Pro. But
is it the UK champ? What did he turn it into? I'm gonna look.
Okay, moving on. Because we gotta move on. We're going so long because someone wanted to silence women earlier.
damn it, James.
Moving on real quick. We all have CM Punk going over Samoa Joe, right? I feel like there is genuinely nothing to say about this. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
It is.
I'm interested to see how the crowd treats Punk, but like I have nothing to say about this. Punk, right? Everyone Punk.
But yeah, everyone Punk. My one regret is that they had that match at all in the first place in the tournament, because there is no stakes to this now. Like Punk
it's for the real world championship.
But before that, Punk legitimately never beat Joe.
Yeah.
That was a great story. That was a great accolade that Joe had over him. And now that that's gone, it
lives on through Ruby and Blue.
Yeah.
Which I'm just gonna say this right now: Ruby version is superior to Blue version.
Wait, to Blue or to Sapphire?
He's saying Blue.
To Blue.
But I mean, yeah, that Gen 1 was so glitchy. As much
also,
as I
mean, Groudon's better than Kyogre anyway. I don't care.
I always like Blue better, just generally. Also, James, I'm gonna agree with you. Like, I feel like they took the piss out of all of this when Punk beat Joe. So I'll enjoy it. And frankly, it's all been on Collision, and I haven't really watched Collision, so I haven't really seen the build-up. It's gonna be good. Joe versus Punk always delivers, but like, yeah, they took the piss out of all of it, so it is what it is. And
it is what it is.
The fake, not the fake title, but the quote unquote real title thing is, I just don't care. I really don't.
I mean, I also don't care. That's why we're moving on quickly and fiercely to a match I do care about. It's for the Trios title. It is the House of Black versus the Acclaimed at full power with the badass Billy Gunn. Is Bowen's gonna say "scissor me, baddie ass" instead of "daddy ass"? Who knows? We'll find out.
I love it.
That would be fantastic.
I love it too. And look, even though we don't have time for this, I'm gonna shatter reality and break kayfabe real quick and just say that Rev bumped his knee into the table a second ago, and he mimed a scream, and it seemed painful, but
it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I hit more of the top than like the sides, which is what always gets me. But it fucking hurt.
The shock hurt more than the actual blow.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with my knees, any blow to the knee is very bad. So,
okay, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really want the Acclaimed to win the titles here. Tonight, they said in a promo 2 months ago that they were going to get Billy Gunn gold in his career one more time, and I want it to happen. So I'm going to go with the Acclaimed. I am going to say that Max Caster's rap is going to be so fucked up. It's going to maybe mention Brexit. I don't know. Maybe he's going to call some people Tories, which is like, I'm not going to explain to anyone. Look it up if you don't know. But and it's going to be wild, but we're not going to be able to hear any of it because the crowd's going to be too loud. But I'm going to go with the people I want to win, and that is the Acclaimed. Ringo.
So it sounds like Wednesday wants the Acclaimed.
Yeah, sounds like
too.
you're chomping at the bits.
It wasn't Wendy. It wasn't
it?
Wendy. We're boarding a 16-year-old senior dog right now.
No.
Yeah, Nippy.
Who's gonna win the match?
I think Nippy is saying House of Black.
My blue eyes. Danny, you have to speak, otherwise it's not going to be on the camera.
I wasn't doing that for the camera.
It was for me. It was for me, Kaiba boy.
Not gonna lie. All we could kind of see on the reflection is just your ring light.
I know,
but it kind of centered his face in like a really cool way.
Screw the rules. I have money.
I want it to be the Acclaimed, but I think it's going to be House of Black. I think they're building towards a feud with LF. Like, they're going to have an LFI feud.
The dog doesn't like it. The dog doesn't like it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
That's just bad because the thing is, and everyone seems to forget this for some reason, especially the AEW fans. This is the one fault I have with AEW fans, that they cheer Andrade when he's like a he's a whack version of Punk. Like, he causes backstage problems and believes his own shit more than he probably should, but with nothing to back it up. Like, cool, you're a great wrestler. The roster's full of them. You'd actually stand out more if you sucked. But like, so to go from the Acclaim to that's Bush League, man. That's some garbage.
Admittedly, I think we should all be a little more into Andrade if the rumors are true about him and Charlotte.
Wow, man, you just always taking jabs at the women, man. What?
What's the rumors? I have no idea. I'm taking a jab at Flares.
I don't know what the rumor is. It's not working out between them.
They're supposedly getting divorced.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Look, just because they're both not great doesn't mean, they deserve that, James. Okay, they're still human beings, okay?
I'm rooting for them.
Doesn't sound like it.
You said
it was a reason to like him.
Yeah, that he's getting divorced. Sympathy.
That's messed up. No, you're saying that Charlotte's so atrocious that him dumping her is babyface material. I feel like that's what you're saying. Yeah, especially now that you're doing that.
And
but anyway, so you're going with
women.
you're going with that. That's how much I'm sticking to this bit, that I'm defending, like, maybe the person I like the least on both rosters. But Paul, who do you have in this match? I kind of derailed James so much that I'm just going to go to you now.
That's fair. I would like to say, before I make my pick, that I like how we're slowly building out this like universe of different animals for the Market Down podcast. Danny has his cats. James has Wednesday and now Nippy. I had the cricket. A lot of animals on the pod. I am taking.
What happened to the cricket?
I don't know. I think he jumped away. I didn't find him. I didn't kill him. So I'm taking the Acclaimed.
You wanted to, though.
Well, yeah, he was being loud, and I don't like bugs in my room. Dude, you should have saw the moth that just flew by me 2 seconds ago.
Remind me to tell you my moth story later. Horrible.
Is it the Norm Macdonald joke? Because I love that joke.
It is not. This was real.
Now I feel like we need to make that.
That was real.
I feel like we need to make that a social media exclusive. You telling the moth story. I digress. The Acclaimed are winning this match. The idea of them winning the title in front of all of these people who are going to be rabid for the Acclaimed, and rabid for Billy Gunn especially, I think it's too good of an opportunity to pass up. Sometimes you just need to have that moment in wrestling, and I think this is one of those times. Just give us the feel-good story. I genuinely think Billy Gunn wins the match for the Acclaimed. I think he gets the pinfall. So just give it to us. Give us the Acclaimed and badass Billy Gunn as trio champs. I don't care how long it lasts. I hope it lasts a long time. But I like I said, this is too good of a feel-good moment to pass up. Give Billy his flowers in front of this absolutely bonkers crowd, and it'll be just beautiful.
And then on Dynamite, you can cut a promo where he thanks everyone except his 2 birth sons. They never did anything but hold him back.
Exactly.
He legitimately left his 2 actual sons to a knife pervert, an actual pervert, and just like an anarchist gun club.
And for a while,
but when the kids he likes got bullied by the goth kids, he's like, I gotta come back for them.
Yep, I gotta come back for my cool kids, the sons I wish I had.
Let us not also forget the entire reason we have this is because of Danhausen.
God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him. So a moth walks in the podiatrist's office, and the doctor's like, the podiatrist's like, what can I do for you? And the moth's just like, well, I'm not feeling too well. I got a lot of problems. I can't sleep at night. I toss and I turn. I look over at my wife and I don't even recognize her. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but it's maybe one of the greatest jokes of all time.
Oh, the Norm, the
yeah,
Norm Macdonald one. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I assume that's your Mott story. I assume that's everyone's Mott story. It's either that or that you were like on a bridge and you saw a guy in a humanoid moth and then the bridge collapsed. Those are only two possible stories you could have about a moth.
Was that
But
a
moving
Batman
on.
reference?
It's a Mothman
Nope.
reference.
Mothman reference.
I forgot Mothman. I thought you were making a Killer Moth reference.
Nope. We're gonna move on to the main events.
Kinda.
Yeah, I guess. I forgot it. I did genuinely forget about the pre-show. The pre-show main events. Tied into the main event. We're gonna let's just give our predictions for both because it you say how you think it's gonna tie in. So we have Better Than You Baby versus Aussie Open.
Oi.
Oi, bruv, are you bent? Sorry, I can't help it. That's all I got. Flesh wounds. If there's ever a time for the Australian accent,
Oh, I'm
it's
sitting on it there, mate. Don't worry.
crikey. This is going to be emotional. I feel like we're too deep into the show where I don't want to go on I don't want to pine over this story as much as we do on the reviews. So I'm just going to say that I'm going to be, if it wasn't for real life circumstances, I would say that I was going to be, nothing in wrestling would make me as emotional as this is right now. But I'm so into this. It's so weird that I think the pre-show match is harder to predict than the main event, but I'm gonna say that MJF and Adam Cole win the tag titles, so that way they have to keep interacting even if things go south in the main event. That they'll still be tethered together with these titles. I think that's a very interesting wrinkle you can throw in here. And as for the main event itself, MJF's going to win. Adam Cole's a loser. And I was going to elaborate, but I think I'll leave it at that. I think MJF wins, and then which is good for MJF because he wants to stay friends with Adam Cole and he wants to be champ, and then he'll feel good about the friendship still, but Cole will be the one who has to carry the resentment and the bitterness, and he can be the one to cost them the tag titles down the line and just turn full heel on him because they've done it. They're pushing each other in the opposite direction. Cole's making MJF a better person, and MJF is making Cole a worse person. And I think that's the scenario where we get to them fully cross into the other side. So those are my predictions. Paul, who do you got in both of these matches? And can you do the whole thing in an accent, or is that too much?
Oh, I absolutely could there, Mike. I mean, it's going to be a little aggressive, but I could do it, and I do apologise to any Australians who are hearing me and absolutely hating this. To start with the pre-show, it's very interesting because I think, however the pre-show goes, absolutely dictates how the main event's going to go. Because obviously they're going to play off of their results no matter what in the main event storyline-wise. So, for example, I think Aussie Open's going to win, which is mostly the reason why I'm actually going to do this in the entirety of this in the exit. Because I think whoever ends up getting pinned for MJF and Adam Cole actually plays far more deeply into the main event. Now, granted, it kind of depends on if you want the short burn with the story in terms of the tag title match or the long burn. Because like you said, Danny, should they win, it does provide a longer burn. I think they're going to go for the short burn just within the show itself. And I think there's a good chance here that I know he already got pinned. I guess they would kind of be rehashing the FTR thing. So I don't know if they would do it again where MJF has the opportunity to cheat and doesn't and they end up losing. But it would make a lot of sense, even if it is the same thing that happened in the FTR match, it would make a lot of sense that now this is the second time it's happened. MJF trying to be the good guy, doesn't work out for them. And you have Adam Cole, who's clearly starting to move towards being a little more heelish, gets upset they didn't win the tag titles he wanted to, and then perhaps tries to cheat to win against MJF. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. There's so many possibilities in both of these matches that anything I say is probably not going to be right. So I do think Aussie Open retain their titles. I also just think that taking the titles off of them is just a bit bush league at this point. I think they should keep them. They're the proper champs right now, and the titles should stick with them. For the main event itself, it's tough because, again, you kind of have to see what happens in the first match for actually find out. But then at the same time, you got Roderick Strong and the Kingdom floating around, and I think it's a very difficult thing to play. My main thought is that they do cost Cole the title, and even if he is cheating, and then MJF, will probably deny any involvement, and then it could come out later if you want to turn MJF back heel that it was MJF that hired Strong and the Kingdom or whatever it is, aligns with them, whatever it ends up being, to end up costing Cole, so he doesn't look like the bad guy in the short term. But again, I don't know. I genuinely do not know. All I know is, or all I think is, I think Aussie Open and MJF both retain in these matches. How they're going to get there, I have absolutely no idea.
I didn't understand a word you just said. Try speaking American. It's the only language I understand.
Yeah, say all of that again, but normally.
You what, Mike?
Talk normal.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun listening to that back later.
Could you like clip that out and then send it to me, because I want to put what I said, which was a direct quote from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged at the end of it.
You should just put like weird subtitles on the bottom that are absolutely nothing I said.
But yeah, I'd hate to follow that. So we won't. I'm so sorry, James. Your prediction has actually been cut for time. And to make it up to you, we'll make good. You can make your prediction on this match during our payback predictions, okay? Because that's just as big a stage as All In, okay?
So sorry, Matt Damon.
I need you to make lemonade out of these lemons that we're giving you, okay? And thank you guys so much for watching. Give us your predictions down in the comments below.
Wait, are we actually cutting him?
I feel like we gotta commit to the bit, right?
I want to talk.
Yell, just yell over him.
So
okay,
I just got to kill too.
What the fuck are you doing in the background?
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Mr. Knockout City. Okay.
Wow, too soon. Okay, I'm not over it yet.
All right. I really did think that Aussie Open was going to retain, but I do think you made a very compelling argument for them being linked no matter what happens after the main event. I think that is a great argument. I
also just don't want to pin either guy.
Well, I think there is, and I said it a couple of weeks ago, I do think there is a story to it that the first tag team title match they had, MJF lost the match for them. And I think there is something if Adam Cole takes the pin in this match. But I kind of want to see Cole cheat to win. Wait, what's up?
Oh, I was just saying that's why I love it. There's so many possibilities.
Oh, absolutely. Right? No,
well,
we are like genuinely. I'm like genuinely. Apparently, you couldn't understand me. I'm genuinely giddy for all of this. Like that's why I was like, I'm so excited for it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we were all very skeptical when they booked this match initially, but I think as the story has continued, I've gotten even more into it, and I'm way more excited for it. And I do think, not to shit on Ring of Honor, I think there's a lot more leeway here, considering it's the Ring of Honor tag team titles and not the AEW tag team titles. Oh, yeah. The Ring of Honor tag team titles are very prestigious. They really are, but they're not featured. I know, I've got the data. Nobody's watching Ring of Honor. So you can get away with a little bit more in this instance. So I'm gonna go with Cole and MJF winning the Ring of Honor tag team titles, and I think it's gonna be because one of Better Than You Bebe is going to cheat, and I think it's gonna be Cole who cheats. As for the main event, I think Adam Cole's winning. I think Adam Cole. So I'm gonna say what I want more than anything in this world, in this
All right,
wrestling
thank
world.
you guys for
Wait,
watching.
no, please. I really want Tony to have the balls to get my way for the promo package for Adam Cole and MJF. And I want that to be what this match is. I want Cole to go full Austin, heel turn, betray MJF for the title, win the title. I want him to do it with the help of Roderick Strong in the Kingdom, just because I don't think there will be anything funnier in the world of professional wrestling than Matt Taven and Mike Bennett being hands held high in the main event at Wembley Stadium. I think it would be hilarious. And I do legitimately think Cole is going to have a group behind him, and I think that group is going to be the Kingdom, because Kyle O'Reilly is still a way away, and Bobby Fish is sleeping somewhere else.
Are we
presumably with Fishes?
Are we
I
ready
mean,
to pull the plug on Face Cole?
I think it's coming sooner than later. And Danny put it beautifully. Cole rubbed off on MJF, and that's great. But MJF rubbed off on Cole, and that's terrible.
yeah.
That's what she said.
Look, if we were British, we would have had a field day with what you just said. But we're not. We're American and Australian. But I first of all, producer boy too, can you, like, when you're editing this later, can you just like bleep everything he just said so that we still censored out his prediction, but we let him speak, so that the bit still works, you know?
I can
I
try
think
to at least just drop the audio.
No, don't, come on. Don't bend to him.
But I'm not that much of an ass.
But also, look, I understand the whole Kingdom and Roddy aspect of it all, but as we saw from the ladder match at All Out last year, that we can't have another firm being a part of like the main events scene, you know, and that's
I don't even really care about them. I'm fine with them being there to like celebrate with him because they were in on it from the beginning, kind of thing. But Cole is turning heel, and I don't think there is a bigger place to capitalize on that heel turn than here, where you have 80,000 fans fucking furious. Just furious.
You can also keep sorry to cut you off. You can also keep MJF heel if you do that too, because the one friend he's ever had betrayed him. Like, he'd probably be sad for a while and garner sympathy, but he's immediately going to revert back to cutthroat scumbag MJF. I'm going to do whatever I can to win person, you know?
It's very
possible. I don't think he can get booed again after that.
I don't think he could, though.
He could.
Not anytime soon, genuinely. Like, I don't think there's a thing he can do at that point. Like, if he punched a kid, I would chant, "You deserve it," at that kid. Like,
but maybe it would be like he could probably still do all that stuff and still be face, which would be crazy, you know.
But that's the point. Like,
yeah.
he might act like our scumbag, as he keeps calling himself, but I think he's going to be a face regardless.
I don't know, because because he's opened himself up, you trusting the fans. Maybe because he was betrayed by Cole, maybe he doesn't want to open up anymore, doesn't trust the fans anymore, starts insulting them again. But
then who's the face then?
But I'm saying there might not be a face after this match in general. Like, maybe it'd be a difficult,
See, I just think
to toe, but you could do it.
MJF is what The Rock and Stone Cold were in the Attitude Era. They were both giant douchebags that the crowd just loved. They were not baby faces. They were just people that the crowd loved, and they were the biggest douchebags on the roster. Like, nobody said worse things than The Rock said to people, and he's the biggest star of all time in wrestling history. Like, you know, and that's what MJF is right now. Like, he's not a babyface in his actions or the things he says, but just in terms of his reactions.
He's the people's scumbag.
Yeah. So, like, he's basically, I hate using the word tweener because I just feel like it's a misused term, but like, morally, he'd be a tweener, but he'd just be treated like the biggest babyface on the planet. But anyway,
It's like one of those alignment charts, and he's always all the way at scumbag, and then he just goes up from like good scumbag to evil scumbag, depending on what
Chaotic
he's feeling.
scumbag.
Chaotic scumbag, neutral scumbag. Yeah,
Lawful
that's a
scumbag.
great point. Real quick before I wrap up here, Ringo, do you have any threes?
Go Fish.
Okay.
Missed opportunity to say go Bobby Fish. Just saying.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not missing it. Not
Panthers.
gonna lie, I don't
Look
feel
at
very
that.
missing.
Woo. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave your predictions down below or in your head. Keep it to yourself if you want. That's fine too. Enjoy the show. We'll be talking about it afterwards, whatever time it ends, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, midnight, 6 a.m. the next morning. You know, we'll be talking about it. But thank you so much for watching. We got all the social medias. Like, subscribe, follow.
All
You
in the
know,
description below.
if you want to talk about Bray, we had a whole episode about it, and we'll continue to talk about him. We love him. We miss him. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Don't drink and drive. Be nice to animals, and just cherish the people around you, even if they're weirdos like James. You know, just cherish them. So thank you again for watching. Everyone, have a good night. Have a good day. And just take care of yourself. Now, please get out of my predictions.